The first thing Captain Ryan Veck heard when he woke up was laughter. Metallic, echoing laughter, like someone had poured sarcasm into a synthesizer. He opened his eyes and nearly fell off the medical table. Standing in front of him was a woman, or something like one. Her skin shimmered like blue chrome, her eyes bright as molten silver. And she was staring directly at him, arms folded, smirking like a cat who'd just found a box of helpless mice. "So this is what passes for a male specimen on Earth?" she said. Her voice had that kind of smooth confidence that could insult you and still make you thank her for the attention. Ryan blinked. Excuse me? Where am I?" "You're aboard the Velvatrix 9, my ship," she said with mock grandeur. "And I'm Zira Veen, captain scientist, and apparently your accidental abductor." Ryan rubbed his temples. "Accidental? You kidnapped me by accident?" Zira shrugged, the metallic fabric of her suit rippling like liquid light. "Technically, my scanner mistook you for a package of bioprotein. Your readings were unusually low." "Low? What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing personal," Zira said, scanning him with a floating orb. "Your nutritional density is just underwhelming." Ryan frowned. "You mean you think I'm skinny?" "I mean," Zira said, lips twitching, "I expected more substance." Her eyes dropped, not subtly, and Ryan realized exactly what she meant. "Oh, come on," he said. "You're seriously judging me right now?" "I'm a scientist," she said innocently. "Observation is my duty." Ryan sat up straighter. "Well, maybe Earthmen don't need to compensate with shiny blue skin and ego armor." Zira gasped dramatically. "Ego armor? I'll have you know this suit regulates my temperature, boosts my stamina, and doubles as an emergency deflector shield." Ryan smirked. "Sounds like a fancy way to say overcompensating." There was a pause. Then Zira laughed, a genuine, melodic laugh that filled the sterile chamber with warmth. "Touché, Earthling. I see sarcasm is your planet's main defense system." "It's cheaper than laser cannons," Ryan replied. Their banter bounced like pinballs. Zira's curiosity was obvious. She kept circling him, scanning, commenting, teasing. At one point, she picked up a ration pack from his pocket. "What is this?" "That's a sausage," he said. "It's food," she sniffed it skeptically. "This small thing? You eat this?" "Yeah, it's high in protein." Her silver eyes glimmered mischievously. "Protein? You mean this is your planet's power source?" Ryan chuckled. "In a manner of speaking, yeah." She waved it like a trophy. "Then I shall test it." "Wait, no, too late." Zira took a dramatic bite. Her face froze. The smug grin melted into a mixture of horror and confusion. "What is this texture?" she sputtered, trying to chew. "It tastes like compressed sadness." Ryan laughed so hard he almost fell off the table again. "Welcome to human cuisine." Zira's voice turned robotic in disgust. "Why would anyone willingly ingest this?" "Are your taste buds defective?" "They're called budget limitations," Ryan said between laughs. "Not every planet has a gourmet reactor." Zira held the sausage at arm's length like it might attack her. "You mock my technology, but your people eat this." "Hey," Ryan said, standing now, "you mocked my sausage first." Zira tilted her head, amused. "Ah, so you are proud of your sausage," he sighed. "You're enjoying this way too much?" "I'm a xenobiologist," she said, grinning. Every experiment is enjoyable when the subject gets flustered. For a few moments, they just looked at each other, him exasperated, but secretly intrigued. Her, playful and calculating. Then the ship's alarm blared. Zira frowned. "Oh no, that can't be good. What's happening?" "Auto-translator malfunction," she said, glancing at a glowing console. "Our speech filters are destabilizing." Ryan blinked. "Meaning?" "Meaning whatever we say will sound to each other like, how do you Earthlings say it? Truth serum for the mouth." The lights flickered. Ryan felt a strange pulse in his throat, like static electricity tickling his tongue. Zira blinked rapidly. "You look unusually symmetrical," she blurted. "I hate how symmetrical you look." He blinked. "That's not an insult?" She covered her mouth. "I didn't mean to say that," Ryan smirked. "Guess your ship just turned honesty mode on." "You're not supposed to be attractive," Zira said, flustered. "Human males are not my type." "You're too pink, yeah?" Ryan leaned against the console. Well, you're too blue. Makes you look like a fashionable refrigerator. Zyra's eyes narrowed. You're impossible. And you're glowing again. She glanced down. Indeed, faint bioluminescent patterns danced across her skin. That's a stress response. Sure it is. Her glow intensified. They both stared at each other for a beat, tension wrapped in laughter, curiosity hiding behind insults. Finally, Zyra cleared her throat. Perhaps we should recalibrate the translator before more. Emotional leakage occurs. Right, Ryan said. Wouldn't want you accidentally complimenting me again. I didn't. She stopped mid-sentence, cheeks glowing brighter than her skin. Ryan grinned. Sure, Captain. Totally believable. The lights dimmed back to normal, and Zyra busied herself with the console, muttering alien curses under her breath. But Ryan noticed the faintest smile tugging at her lips. Maybe, he thought, being abducted wasn't turning out so bad after all. Zyra had never been so annoyed with a human, or so curious. Every time she looked at Captain Ryan Vec, her sensors fluttered like faulty circuits. It wasn't just attraction. At least that's what she told herself. It was data interference. Obviously. Stay still, she said, waving a scanner that hummed suspiciously like a kazoo. I'm trying to recalibrate the translator. Feels like you're aiming that thing at my brain. Exactly, Zyra replied. It's the smallest target, Ryan grinned. Careful, you're flirting. Flirt what? Flirting, he repeated. You know, playful teasing with possible emotional undertones. Zyra blinked. Ah, you mean verbal sparring disguised as low-level affection displays? Sure, Ryan said. That's what we call it on Earth, too. The ship's lights flickered again. The translator, despite her tinkering, was still unstable. Each time it pulsed, their words bent the truth barrier a little more. Admit it, Ryan said, leaning closer. You're keeping me here because you like having company, Zyra scoffed. I am a scientist. I keep you here for research. Research, huh? Sounds like you just don't want me to leave. I don't want you to break anything, she shot back. Humans touch everything like toddlers in a plasma market. Or maybe you'd just miss me. Zyra opened her mouth. Ready to deny it? Then the translator flickered. I would, she said automatically. Then froze. I mean, statistically, your clumsiness provides consistent entertainment. Ryan laughed. Too late, Captain Honesty. Ship's still in confession mode. She pointed the scanner at him like a weapon. Say another word and I'll turn your eyebrows fluorescent green. He grinned wider. You wouldn't. I absolutely would. For a heartbeat, the tension hung in the air, light but electric. Then the ship jolted violently, throwing them both off balance. Zyra landed on top of him, her blue metal skin colliding with his very human warmth. For 2 seconds, neither moved. Her voice came out in a whisper. This is suboptimal proximity, Ryan chuckled. Feels optimal to me. She rolled off him immediately, muttering something about personal space violation codes. Relax, Ryan said, brushing dust off his uniform. You've got a good ship, just needs a little Earth-style maintenance. Maintenance? Yeah, duct tape and optimism, Zyra stared blankly. Your planet survives with adhesive strips and denial? Mostly denial. She shook her head, half smiling despite herself. Remarkable species. As she checked the control panel, Ryan's stomach rumbled. Zyra's head snapped toward him. Is your body preparing to self-destruct? No, he said. That's hunger. Hunger? It means I need food. Ah, she said, nodding seriously. More of your infamous sausages, Ryan laughed. I think I'll pass. Last one nearly traumatized you. I do not traumatize easily, Zyra protested. However, that substance violated several intergalactic food treaties. So what do you eat then? Zyra proudly retrieved a glowing sphere from a compartment. Nutrient orb. One contains the sustenance of an entire feast. Ryan took it, inspected it, and sniffed cautiously. Smells like melted batteries. Flavor is irrelevant. Efficiency is everything, he grinned. Guess our cultures are a little different. We prefer things that taste good, even if they kill us slowly. Zyra tilted her head. That explains your movies. They both laughed, really laughed, for the first time since the abduction. The translator buzzed again, flickering between languages until Zira's voice came out softer, almost thoughtful. I used to think humans were primitive. Now I think you're complicated, Ryan smiled. Complicated's just another word for interesting. She looked at him a long moment before replying. Then perhaps I should study you longer, he smirked. Is that science talk for stay a little while? Perhaps, she said, folding her arms, pretending to think. Or perhaps I just enjoy the sound of your sarcasm. The ship's lights dimmed again as they both stood quietly, the hum of distant stars surrounding them. Ryan leaned against the wall. You know, Captain Veen, for someone who claims not to like humans, you sure spend a lot of time saving one. Zira's expression softened. Maybe you're a good sample, he grinned. The best kind of bad idea? Exactly. Outside the galaxy swirled, cold, vast, and silent. But inside the Velvatrix 9, something warm was forming between laughter and curiosity. By the third day aboard the Velvatrix 9, Captain Ryan Vek had decided that Zira Veen was either going to drive him crazy or make him fall in love, possibly both. She'd spent most of the morning wiring shiny cables around his head. Hold still, she said. I'm synchronizing our neural frequencies for an empathy test. Ryan arched a brow. So, a mind link? Exactly. Sounds dangerously romantic. It's purely scientific, she said, tightening a strap. We'll share basic emotional data, that's all. Right. Just emotions. No secrets. No embarrassing memories. Precisely. There was a faint pop, then a humming sound that felt like soda bubbles in his brain. A blue shimmer surrounded them both. Zira blinked. I can feel your heartbeat. Yeah? I can feel your annoyance. That's not annoyance, she said flatly. That's focus, he grinned. Feels spicy. Zira rolled her eyes, but her cheeks glowed faintly, again with that involuntary bioluminescence that betrayed her feelings. Then the link deepened. Suddenly, Ryan caught flashes of her thoughts. Long nights of isolation among the stars. The weight of command, the quiet pride of someone who never lets herself rest. And she, in turn, felt his amusement, his curiosity, the odd warmth he felt whenever she smirked. Zira stepped back quickly. That's enough data. Come on, he said. It's working. Admit it. You're enjoying seeing inside my head. It's cluttered, she said. Like a storage bay after a meteor storm. Hey, I keep it messy for artistic reasons. She tried to disconnect the cables, but static sparked, and suddenly they both gasped. An accidental jolt of shared emotion pulsed through the link. Ryan doubled over, laughing uncontrollably. Are you laughing inside my brain? I can't stop. Zira choked between giggles. Your humor circuits are infecting mine. They stumbled around the lab, laughing for no reason. Their combined thoughts echoing absurd jokes back and forth until tears ran down Ryan's face. Finally, the link fizzled and snapped apart. Both collapsed against opposite walls, panting. Zira wiped a tear from her glowing cheek. That was catastrophic. That, Ryan said, catching his breath, was chemistry. Chemical imbalance, she corrected quickly. Same thing. He stood and offered her a hand. She hesitated, then took it. His touch was warm. Hers was cool and electric. For a second, their hands lingered longer than necessary. Zira cleared her throat. Next experiment. Oh, good, he said. I was worried we might run out of near-death bonding experiences. This time, she brought out 2 floating spheres. They simulate emotional resonance. If you hold one, it mirrors your feelings as color. Red for anger, blue for calm, gold for amusement. Got it, Ryan said, taking one. Immediately, his sphere glowed a bright gold. Zira's turned blue. See? She said proudly. Stable emotional regulation, Ryan smirked. Translation. You're pretending not to like me. Her sphere flickered. First blue, then pink, then an awkward violet. Zira frowned. That's a malfunction. Sure it is, Ryan teased. Stop smiling like that. Can't help it. My orb says I'm amused. She tried to focus on the experiment, but the colors betrayed them both. Every teasing remark sent flickers of gold through his sphere and splashes of soft violet through hers. Finally, Zira snapped the devices off and sighed. Your planet's emotional chaos is contagious. And your planet's denial is impressive, Ryan shot back. Do you ever admit you like something? Zira hesitated. I like quiet. Then you're on the wrong ship, he said, grinning. She glared at him but couldn't hide her smile. You're impossible. Admit it, he said, leaning closer. You'd miss impossible if I were gone. For a moment, neither spoke. The hum of the ship filled the silence like a heartbeat. Then Zira abruptly turned to the console. I'm plotting a course home for you. You've completed your accidental abduction period. Ryan blinked. You're kicking me out already. You should be with your own kind. He crossed his arms. What if I don't want to? She froze, half turning toward him. That would be illogical. Maybe, he said softly. But I'm enjoying the experiment. Their eyes met again, full of things neither could say without the translator betraying them. At last, Zira spoke. You humans, she murmured. You complicate everything. Ryan grinned. We call it charm, she sighed, pretending to be exasperated. You call it chaos. Same thing. Zira turned back to the viewport, watching stars slide past like streaks of light. Deep down, she knew the experiment wasn't over. Not yet. Because every time she laughed at his jokes, every time she caught herself watching him instead of the readings, she felt something new, something wonderfully inconvenient, and that was the most dangerous discovery of all. The next morning, the Velvatrix 9 drifted through a silver nebula, glowing like spilled moonlight. Ryan sat on the bridge, sipping what Zira swore was nutrient coffee. It tasted faintly like optimism and burnt metal. You're still here, Zira said, stepping in. Her tone was sharp, but her eyes lingered a little too long. Couldn't leave without breakfast, Ryan replied. Besides, I figured you'd miss my human chaos. She lifted a brow. I recalibrated the air filters to remove traces of it, he grinned. You mean perfume for nostalgia, Zira sighed, crossing her arms. Fine, you may remain until the next jump point. After that, Earth. Captain, you're terrible at goodbyes. I am excellent at efficiency. Same difference. They were quiet for a moment, watching starlight pour across the glass. Finally, Zira said softly, It's strange. I've cataloged dozens of species, but none quite like yours. You contradict yourselves constantly. That's called being human, Ryan said. We specialize in mixed signals, she tilted her head. I've noticed. Then, as if the universe enjoyed comic timing, the ship's alarm blared again. Ryan jumped. Please tell me that's not another empathy explosion. Worse, Zira muttered, reading the console. We're entering a region of culinary turbulence. Culinary? An asteroid field of discarded alien rations. The sensors call it the snack belt. They exchanged a look that said we're definitely doing something stupid, and both burst out laughing. 10 minutes later, Zira was suited up and floating outside the ship, collecting samples in glowing containers. Ryan's voice came through her helmet radio. Careful out there. Wouldn't want you abducted by a rogue cookie. Cookies are not sentient, she said. Yet, she chuckled despite herself. Then she spotted something unusual. A sealed container labeled in an alien script. Inside were dozens of sausage-shaped snacks. Oh no, she murmured. What is it? They appear identical to your Earth food, Ryan groaned. Space sausages. The galaxy has officially run out of ideas. Back inside, Zira placed one on the lab table. We must analyze it. Last time you analyzed a sausage, you insulted 3 generations of Earth chefs, Ryan said. This time will be different. She sniffed it. Smells less tragic. Progress. He watched as she sliced a piece, scanned it, and frowned. Fascinating. It contains trace elements of humor hormone. Humor what? It stimulates amusement. Possibly addictive, Ryan grinned. So basically, galactic junk food. Zira hesitated. Perhaps one small test. He folded his arms. You sure? Last time you couldn't sit down from disgust. She gave him a look. Science requires courage. She tasted it, then blinked. Her eyes widened. This is incredible. Ryan laughed. See? You've been converted. She held up a finger. Converted, yes, but only scientifically. But the moment she took a second bite, she started giggling uncontrollably. Then laughing. Then howling. Ryan stared. Are you okay? I can't stop laughing, she gasped, tears glowing on her cheeks. It's delicious. Horrible. Wonderful. Ryan snatched the rest away. Whoa, easy there, Captain Snack Attack. Zira leaned against the console, trying to regain composure. Your species may be onto something. You weaponized humor through food. Yep, Ryan said proudly. We call it comfort eating, she giggled again. Comfort indeed. My abdominal plates hurt, he smirked. Guess my sausage wasn't so bad after all. Zira blinked at him, realized the double meaning, and burst out laughing even harder. You are impossible. Still charming, though, he said. She wiped her eyes. Perhaps a little. Later, as the nebula thinned and the stars cleared, the ship's navigation beeped softly. Earth was on the horizon. Zira stood at the viewport, quiet. Your coordinates are set. Time to return home. Ryan joined her. You sound disappointed. Merely reflective. This mission was unexpectedly illuminating, he smiled. For me too. Learned aliens can be terrible cooks but excellent company. Zira turned to him. You truly wish to return? He hesitated. Half of me wants to stay. The other half knows you'd never admit you want that. Her expression softened. Perhaps I would. Eventually, the translator flickered again, just once, and she added quietly, You make the silence less empty. Ryan grinned, and you make chaos sound like a science. For a moment, neither spoke. Then, in the most unscientific impulse of her life, Zira stepped forward and hugged him awkwardly, carefully, like she was still calculating the correct human pressure ratio. Careful, he murmured, smiling. You're going to corrupt your data. Perhaps it's worth the anomaly, she whispered. When the jump engines roared to life, the stars blurred around them, and the Velvatrix 9 vanished into a swirl of color. Somewhere in that streak of light, a blue-skinned scientist laughed at the memory of a human and his ridiculous sausage, and a human back on Earth couldn't look at the night sky without smiling, because sometimes the universe's best experiments aren't about discovering new worlds. They're about discovering someone who makes the journey fun. If you enjoyed this cosmic comedy of love, laughter, and interstellar snacks, hit like, subscribe for more out-of-this-world tales. And tell us, would you try a space sausage?